What's up, YouTube? It's your Kayla and I'm back with another video, and this is gonna be my very first story time. So it's literally like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I don't remember, and I was just sitting on a couch and I'm like, I want to make a video, so that's what I'm about to do. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and also leave some comments down below of videos you want me to do, video ideas, what I need to improve on, and stuff like that. Let's get right into the video. So this story time is going to be about me quitting my job. Long story short, I want to say I started this job either in March or April of 2018. The employees would always be like, oh, you're gonna quit. Everybody always quits. They don't like it. They hate it. Just used to always say stuff. And like, I'm not the type of person that's just gonna quit a job just because like I hate it. Like, it's money, and if it's putting money in my pocket, then I gotta do what I gotta do to get that money. So yeah, that was the first red flag. Is they just used to always be like, oh, you're gonna quit, da da da, everybody quits, whatever. But I never really paid any attention to it. And then like after a while, I started to realize why people hated the job. It's because like the managers would just literally like just sit on their ass and like be on their phone and not do anything in the back. And like, I mean, certain managers, but like most of them, they just did exactly that and didn't really do anything. And like, especially on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays were literally always the worst, especially at night, because there's only 2 people and it's you and that manager. You gotta, do the cash register. You have to clean up, you have to sweep, you have to take the trash out, you have to spray the registers, you have to mop if somebody spilled something during the day and it's sticky. You have to put the things that people didn't want back. Like, you had to do all of that while that manager just literally sat on their ass and did nothing in the back until at the end of the night when they were helping you. So that is literally probably why people quit, is because they literally felt like they had to do everything by themselves, which just isn't fair. Like, I know you're the manager, but help the bitch out. Like, I gotta already do a lot while you just doing nothing. So, excuse me guys, I'm pregnant and I get out of breath really fast. So yeah, but yeah, that was the second red flag. And then after a while, I stopped giving about people that work there. And like, if they would ask me to do something, I just would like ignore them and do what I'm supposed to do. Like, if I'm on register, I'm on register. I'm not cleaning, I'm not, no. Like, you guys don't do anything, you go do it. Like, that's literally how I felt. So I really stopped caring. And then one day, which was about 4 months ago, I want to say, this couple came in and I was bringing them out, and they were just saying very like inappropriate, uncomfortable things. And like, I wasn't paying attention. I was just bringing them out, and I'm listening, but I'm not like saying anything back to them because it's just like an uncomfortable situation. Like, I'm just trying to get you out of here as fast as I can. So while I'm cashing them out money wise, they give me the money, and I thought of it, but I didn't. So he handed me the money, and I like saw one funny looking $20 bill, but I'm just like, maybe it was washed, maybe something fell on it, like a juice or soda, or something stained it basically. And I wasn't thinking about it. Their bill was like $300, I think, so they gave me more than 120, a couple tens, maybe a 5 or 2, and so I didn't like think anything of it. And then like maybe like 15-20 minutes later, I'm bringing somebody else out, and they paid with a $100 bill. Now 50s and 100s you have to scan to see if they're fake, and then after that you put it underneath the register And then I gotta move, my legs hurt. So you scan the money, and then after that you put it underneath the register, and then you give them their change back. Somebody happened to come to my register and they paid with a $100 bill, but their total wasn't like crazy expensive, so therefore they would get $20 bills back. So I gave them like 2 or 3 $20 bills and, you know, little petty change, and I realized that like, oh, this shuck is fake. So after that I'm like, fuck. I think what I thought happened, and it did. So I called my manager immediately, and I was like, on the mic, not like on phone. So I called, I was like, hey, I think I just collected counterfeit money. And he literally, word for word, said, no big deal, I'm on my way. Like, on my way up to the register. And I was just like, okay. Mind you, there's like a manager, the manager that like hires you, and then there's like managers, you know? So the one that said he was on his way was like the manager, you know? So he was on his way, walking up to the register, and I was just like, I was like shaking, like, like I just collected fake money. So I was like, fuck this. I took the money out the register and I met him like halfway, and I was like, this is the money that I literally just collected from the person. The manager was like, basically like, oh, I could fire you. And I was just like, okay. Like, shit. Like, I understand you're pissed because now you just lost the money that they gave to me that was fake. You just lost merchandise because they didn't pay for it. Like, I understand. I would be pissed too. Like, pissed as fuck. But he was being a little, you know, ridiculous, I guess. And then one of my other managers was like, you can't fire her because you never once told us to check 20s, 10s, or 5s. You only told us to check 50s and 100s. So, I mean, she kind of like saved my ass a little bit. I'm sitting in the back in his office, and then the manager tells me to just go back on register. And I was like, I don't want to go on register, so I'm just gonna go pick up the store. They called my name again, and I guess the manager and one of the managers were like talking, and the managers decided that they were just gonna give me a write-up and a final warning about basically my money being short, or you know, anything crazy. I got a write-up, and basically he told me, well, this manager, because this one was being so childish, he literally was sitting at his desk. I'm literally going to do exactly what he did. So mind you, I'm me, and the other manager is, you know, talking to me about my write-up. But meanwhile, it should be this one that is talking to me because you're the one that wanted to write me up. This is your store. You know, you're managing this store. Why are you not, you know, talking to me about my write-up? So this is what he did. He's sitting in his little office chair, and he's just looking at his screen computer. And he just, every time the other manager talks, he's just shaking his head like, you know, yep, that's the right thing to say. And I'm just like, yo, this is so petty. You can't talk to me. You have to have a manager lower than you give me a write-up. Like, that is just so childish and so petty to me. I signed my write-up, and I had like an hour left, and I was like, can I just go home now, or do you just want me to stay? And he was like, you can just do whatever you want. That's what this one said. So I was just like, okay, we see how this is gonna go. So I just clocked out when I went home. And mind you, I don't work at that job, or I didn't work at that job that many days a week or that many hours, because that was my second job. So I worked there that day. I went home an hour early, and then I worked there the next day. The next day, I was literally petrified. I wouldn't go on register at all. Like, I wasn't going on register. Like, you're not getting me on there. I walked around the sales floor and cleaned up for my entire 8-hour shift. And normally, I love to be on register because it just goes by really fast. But I was just on the floor cleaning up for the entire 8 hours. After that, mind you, me and my manager, the higher up, would text back and forth with messages. Basically, I would send him my schedule from my other job, for that way he knew the days that I worked at my other job, for that way he could schedule me the opposite hours that I did work at my other job. Does that make sense? Say I worked 8 to 2 at my first job, he would try and schedule me like 4 to 10 at his store. So we always like text back and forth. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna use this as a example, because I'm not really sure, you know, the day I took the money and the day after. So we're just gonna say like Wednesday and Thursday. So I remember like requesting the days off. We call it RO. I don't know if anybody, I don't know if I would have said RO, would you guys have understood? So we call it requesting days off. So I requested Friday, Saturday, and Sunday if I can go to my dad's house because my father doesn't live in Syracuse. Excuse me. I would send him my schedule on Monday morning or Monday night from my first job. And I didn't send it. So on Wednesday I sent it to him because I like totally forgot Tuesday, and so Wednesday I sent it to him. And normally, oh my god, I am so out of breath. This story time went from being something so small to being something so big. I'm out of breath. I need some water. Anyways, so normally he would say like thank you, or he would thumbs up the message, you know, like on the iPhone. So normally he would send a thank you or a thumbs up, and he didn't. So I was like, okay. So I sent it on Wednesday, and then he puts the schedule out on Fridays or Saturdays. So I called early Sunday morning and I was like, hey, it's Kayla. Can you tell me if I work at all this week? And the girl said no. I was like, okay, thank you. Hung up. So the next week I waited. I sent him my schedule on Monday because that's when I was supposed to send it to him. I sent to him, still again, no thumbs up, no thank you. Okay. You know, I waited. Text the girl because I had one of her numbers. I had one of the girl's numbers. So I texted her and I was like, hey, it's Kayla. Can you tell me if I work at all this week? And she said, no, girl, why? And I was like, okay, this is the second week. So the third week, I was just like, at this point, I feel like you fired me, or you took me off the schedule because you were upset at the fact that I collected fake money on accident. And I was just like, yeah, at this point, you're just being petty as hell. So the third week, I didn't send him my schedule. He didn't text me to see, you know, not that it's his job, but it's the fact that like I text you 2 weeks in a row and you never text back. At this point, I'm over it, so I'm just not gonna send you my schedule. So if you want it, you can get in contact with me, or I'm done. Like, that's basically how I felt. And then I went there today. That's basically why I'm making this video, because I was just sitting on my couch and it really pissed me off. It really pissed me off. So one of the managers there, she's really cool. She's an older lady, but not too old. God forbid she sees this video, she can be like, oh my god. But yeah, she's old, but she's not that old. And I loved her. She was a great manager. Yes, she sat on her ass sometimes, but she was the best manager that they had. She actually helped, and you know, she was good. So I was going to go in there today because I seen her as I was walking past with my sister, because my sister wants to buy a new phone. So I seen her and I was like, oh, I want to go say hi to her because I haven't seen her in like 4 months, and I love her. Like, I literally love her. So, you know, I go in there and she was like, she plays with me. Like, she'll tell my boyfriend, I'm gonna punch her in the face. I'm gonna smack her. So I walk in there and she was like, I don't want to talk to you. But she was playing, you know, and I was like, what happened? And she was like, why'd you quit? And I was like, well, this is what happened. And basically everything I just told you, I told her. And she was like, oh, well, he's telling everybody you didn't give him your availability. And I was like, I texted him 2 times. 1 week, 2 week, he never responded. And neither did he put me on the schedule. Like, I'm not going to bullshit around with you. I understand what I did was wrong. I understand, like, you know, you're pissed. Like, you just lost merchandise and you just lost money. I understand that. I apologize. I understood. Like, I understand. I do understand. I understood and I understand, like, why he was pissed and why, if he was mad, I can understand why. I was just really confused. I like the job. I like the people. You know, I hated the job some days, but for the most part, you know, it was it was all right to work, you know, once or twice a week for extra money. But yeah, it just pissed me off that the fact that, like, now you're telling your employees that I didn't send you my schedule, but I sent it to you twice and you never respond. Neither did you put me on the schedule. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, so that's my first story time of me quitting my job because my manager wasn't. And yeah, like this video, leave comments down below. I'll see you in my next video.